Namaste. This presentation is for educational purposes only and diagnose, prevent, or cure any disease or disorder. The advice and methods in this presentation should not be construed as financial, medical, or psychological advice or treatment. Please seek advice from a professional if you have serious financial, medical, or psychological issues. By watching and or participating in this presentation, you understand that results are not guaranteed. Yamajit, John Hollinsby Mayer, Tridevi Chamunda Mandir, and YouTube cannot accept any responsibility for any injuries or damages incurred from the practices and meditations contained in this video. Namaste and welcome to Tridevi Chamunda Mandir in Denver, Colorado. I'm Yamajit, so very glad that you're joining me for the next installment of our sadhanas surrounding 4 different Kali archetypes. This is part 2 of our series within a series. Start out with a couple of announcements. This coming Friday, we'll be doing a fire puja and satsang to the Mahavidya goddess Dhumavati. This is Kali in the form of a widow. And then next Tuesday, we'll be doing a similar sadhana as this evening, but for the goddess Dakshin Kali. Both events are happening at 7 p.m. and you can join either on YouTube or you can come to our temple and join us in person. It's 1260 South Xavier Street in Denver, Colorado. So tonight we'll be doing a sadhana, that is a meditation, to Ma Bhadrakali, the benevolent Kali, and this will be a meditation for material needs and also not just material needs, but also enhancing one's sense of self-worth. So self-worth, also self-esteem, self-confidence. All of those things can be worked toward in this meditation. So in this session, we'll be looking to focus our awareness on resolving material concerns. So this could include things like finances, career, and or strengthening, again, one's sense of self-worth. This is a modification of a meditation from the book Cho Practice Demystified by Baal Kedman. And instead of offering ourselves to one of our inner demons, as we've done in some other Cho-related meditations, we will instead be giving ourselves to a form of Ma Kali for the purpose of restoring balance in our lives through the transformation of malevolent energies. In this series within a series, I've modified this practice to honor 4 forms of the goddess Kali for whom this temple is dedicated. So we'll be working with 4 different archetypes over a 4-week period. Last week, we worked with Ma Svetakali, the white Kali. Today, Ma Bhadrakali, the benevolent mother. Next week, Ma Dakshin Kali, the wrathful protector. And the final week, Mahakali, who is the combined force of all 3. Ma Bhadrakali is one of the most popular forms of Ma Kali in both the Kathmandu Valley of Nepal and in India at large. She is the Kali of good fortune and benevolence, but also like Kali's other aspects, she is also a destroyer of our inner foes. If you visit Kathmandu and while shopping, and you stumble across a traditional Kali statuette, it will most often be that of Bhadrakali. And when you look at your screen, these are 3 different statuettes of Ma Bhadrakali. So in our meditation, I'd like to invite you to, as you look on your screen, find one that really speaks to you as an individual. Our practice will be given as a guided meditation. And since this is going to be a visual process, you can use these statuettes. And also in your own individual practice, you can always print off an image from the internet to focus on. Let's see. And also, you can take the basic structure of this meditation and apply it to another personal deity that you're close to. So, I invite you at this point to begin by closing your eyes and breathing deeply. And as you breathe, make any adjustments that you need to be comfortable, preferably sitting with your back straight, either in a chair or on your mat with your chest open. Rolling the shoulders back can help with this. This is typically a seated meditation, but it can also be done lying on your back in Shavasana as well. But breathe deeply. Take this time to ground, to center, and prepare for the meditational work we're about to do. So, breathing in a sense of relaxation, breathing in a sense of peace, of balance, and openness to the experience, while breathing out all the tensions and concerns of the day, the thoughts of things that have happened or the things that might need to happen. And just bring your awareness to this present moment, acknowledging that you're giving this time to yourself for healing, for growth, and for learning. So now, I invite you to think about a situation in your life where there is stress or insecurities surrounding such things as finances, career, maybe a situation in one of those areas where you just need some insight, maybe a way to look at the situation more clearly. And if it feels right, you could also use this meditation to boost your sense of self confidence or self worth, self esteem. Just focus on the first thing that comes to you. This is usually the best thing to work with at a given moment. Think about it. Maybe visualize it. And as you focus on this issue, also see if you notice where you feel these things physically in your body. Try to notice any specific emotions that may come up as well. And then take some time to acknowledge that the Divine Mother is with you always to help guide you toward resolutions, toward healing, and the restoration of peace. And then take a moment also to acknowledge that you're taking part in this meditational practice is an important step, an important beginning in the healing and resolution and just restoring balance. So this process is already happening as you're embarking in this practice. So now I invite you to take a nice deep and clearing breath and slowly open your eyes, keeping your gaze relaxed while looking at your screen, and choose one of the 3 Bhadrakali images to focus on. Find the statuette maybe calls out to you, that really speaks to you. Find the one that you truly feel drawn towards. And look upon her image. Continue breathing deeply. And listen now to her story. In what would become the eastern section of Kathmandu was a small farm owned by a poor family. The farmer would set to work in his fields early each morning, leaving a cloth bundle holding his lunch underneath a tree. One day, during spring planting, the farmer sat beneath the tree and opened the cloth, and inside, instead of the usual rice flour loaf of bread baked by his wife the previous day, the farmer found a small gold bar. This occurred again for the next several days, making the farmer and his family quite wealthy. In another account, a tantric practitioner named Sasvat Bajra traveled to the temple of Kamaru Kamachya in India and worshipped the Divine Mother in the form of Sri Bhadrakali, the benevolent Kali. The goddess was pleased by his worship and came to Nepal with him contained in a holy water pot or kalish. Upon reaching the farmer's field outside the city, he went to run some errands and he hung the pot upon a tree. Kalika, the Divine Mother, left the water pot and took the form of a small girl and walked away. The farmer met her on his way to the field and noticed that she had laid down below a tree and fell asleep. The farmer walked away, and when he returned, he couldn't find her. But he saw the Divine Mother, Kalika, Bhadrakali, standing in the same spot. She resembled Svetakali, except her skin was red in color, and she squatted with one foot upon Lord Bhairava, the wrathful form of Shiva, and the other foot upon Ma Kalaratri, the goddess whose name means dark of night. Both figures assumed Bhujangasana, the cobra pose. In her 8 hands, she held a curved skinning blade, or kartika, a damaru drum, a sword, and a small shield, and a trident, and the severed head of a demon. In her 7th hand, she held a skull cup filled with nectar, And in the eighth, she held the mudra of dispelling fear. Her face was peaceful and motherly. Then Sasvat Bajra also saw the goddess, and the place was established as a temple to Ma Bhadrakali. In yet another legend, a priest had a vision of the Divine Mother telling him where to dig into the soil of the same field. Following her directions, he dug a hole at the same spot and found a stone image of Ma Bhadrakali. The Bhadrakali temple was built in 1817. The temple consists of a sunken courtyard surrounded by a sculpted metal fence. Around this main sanctuary are several smaller stone shrines. Bhadrakali is known as Lumadi Ahima, the mother or grandmother of the golden loaves, and she is worshipped by those seeking good fortune and success in their endeavors. In another account, Ma Bhadrakali stopped war. During the time of the previous two stories, Nepal was being invaded by an army from an outside kingdom. When the army got word that Ma Bhadrakali had taken up residence in Kathmandu, they simply turned around and went back to the country they came from. Because of this, Bhadrakali is also the patron deity of the Nepali army. Jai Ma. So now I invite you to close your eyes, keep breathing deeply, and listen to my words as I take you through this practice step by step. So, first, with your closed eyes, I invite you to hold the image of the Bhadrakali statue that you've chosen in your mind. Hold the image, notice its details. See her standing in front of you. And focus on that image in your mind's eye while I chant her mantra 12 times. Om Hrim Srim Krim Ajikalika Parameshvara Svaha. 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 And now that the mantra to the ancient Kali is completed, I invite you to visualize yourself, that is your body, turning into a fine golden mist. Breathe deeply and just see yourself slowly dissolving into this foggy golden mist. It might also manifest as a golden honey-like nectar. And then send your mist or nectar to Ma Bhadrakali, who's standing in front of you, and let her drink of it or breathe it in. You can also see your mist going through her third eye and entering through her forehead. But watch the essence of your body slowly being absorbed by the Divine Mother. See every last ounce of her entering her. Let yourself be completely dissolved and absorbed. So at this point, you're only looking upon her as an observer at this point. And once you're consumed by her, gaze upon her, and especially that motherly expression on her face, an expression of peace, an expression of comfort. And so now I invite you to slowly approach her, paying her reverence, and merge your consciousness with hers. Approach her, bow to her, and then embrace her and join with her into one being. It'll be at this point when you will feel an emotional shift, some kind of felt sense. Pay attention to what you feel and where in your physical body you might actually experience it. Just witness any changes and honor the transformation that's taking place. And now rest for a while in a state of stillness and silence. And use this time to fully integrate the practice. Nothing to do at this point. Nothing to accomplish. just being in the present moment. Jema, Jema, Jema. So I invite you now to take a deep and clearing breath, letting go of the meditation, and beginning to bring your awareness back to your personal space. Being aware of the sounds that you hear, the sound of my voice, tolling of the bell, and any other sounds in your personal space. Feel the sensation of your body, seated or lying where it is. Slowly start to move your fingers and toes, your hands and feet, your arms and your legs. Maybe stretch a little bit. And then slowly bringing the palms of your hands together at your heart center. Taking a moment to express gratitude to the Divine Mother for what she shared with you. Give gratitude to yourself as well for taking the time to take part in this practice. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Slowly opening your eyes. Blessings always. Namaste. Thank you so very much. So, in these next few days, in the week ahead, just try to Notice any flashes of insight that you might have, especially surrounding your issues, new ideas, maybe an enhanced awareness of opportunities that are helpful to you. Maybe noticing yourself handling a certain situation differently, maybe in a healthier fashion or a more balanced fashion than you may have before. But just appreciate those slight and but yet very powerful changes. This process might take more than one session, so please feel free to do this meditation again from this recording of the broadcast. And again, you can also try this meditation with a deity of your own choosing. Essentially, the steps are to close your eyes, take some deep breaths, clear the mind, prepare, make a sankalpa, an intention for the practice. Think about something that you want this practice to go towards. And then slowly open your eyes, gaze at a deity image, chant the mantra of that deity 12 times, and then close your eyes. Hold the image of that deity in your mind's eye. Breathe deeply and imagine your physical form dissolving into a mist or a smoke or a nectar which the deity consumes or absorbs in some way. And then when the image of your physical shell is completely dissolved, approach the deity, pay reverence, and merge yourself with the deity. And then what's really important is just notice any changes in your felt sense that happen as a result. And then take some time for just some silent meditation and just allow yourself to integrate the practice. So I look forward to you joining me on Friday, 7 o'clock for our fire puja and satsang Tama Dumabati. Also, if there's anything you'd like to share about your meditational experience this evening, please feel free to message me at my channel or email me at omcdevi@gmail.com. That's om, A-U-M, Devi, D-E-V-I, @gmail.com. And also, I look forward to you joining me next Tuesday for our Bhadrakali meditation for strength through difficult times. So until then, have a wonderful few days ahead. Blessings. Thank you. Namaste and Jai Mata Di.